Okay, let's do this. It's a hot, balmy day here in Fairfax. I just got back from the DMV, which was awesome. Didn't get anything done that I needed to get done, but I have more information, so that's always exciting. Um, and let's see. So the theme for today is as I was sitting there at the DMV, I had a pretty sort of crappy attitude. I was like, yeah, this is not going to work out. I know it. And sure enough, I sat there for, I don't know, 45 minutes and was uh, was told pretty quickly. It's like, oh yeah, you need to go do this, that, and the other thing. And no, I can't help you until you get all these other things done. So I took a deep breath and I just remembered all the good stuff that I have going on in my life, and remembered there's this difference in terms of reality and what my mind tells me about reality. And it made me think of this quote by Byron Katie, who is definitely a significant mentor of mine. So I'm a lover of what is, not because I'm a spiritual person, but because it hurts when I argue with reality. And I think it's one of these things that happens to us all the time, right? We have these ideas of, I need things to work out in a certain way in order to feel okay. And then when things don't work out that way or they're different, we have this propensity to, I don't know, either feel like we're victims or we get all upset, and you know, then the mental spinning uh, ensues. And yeah, so this idea of just being able to drop into just looking around and saying, oh, this is what is right now. And I think what we'll quickly notice is that beyond this idea of that I had in that moment of how things should go so that I'm content and okay, there's all kinds of other things that are happening that our mind tends to ignore. And so I think the power of a good mindfulness practice comes in really handy here, where you begin to just slow down, say, well, okay, this is different than I thought, but take a look at all these other things that are happening, right? So in my case, I had a car to get back into. It worked. I got here on time to do the session with you guys. Like, everyone's okay in this moment. So that also is part of my reality. So anyway, let's explore that a little bit and see if it lands for you. So close your eyes. Let's take a couple minutes just to land before we get into it. So when you close your eyes, notice where attention goes. Like, what's the first thing you notice? Maybe a way to make that question a little more specific is, what's the predominant sense that kicks in that you notice? Is it sound? Is it sensations in the body? So touch or feel? Is it smell, taste? I can very acutely hear my breath, and I can also feel breath in my throat and my nasal cavity. And just see what you notice. And we're not trying to shape anything here. We're not trying to sort of intentionally calm ourselves down or stop thinking. We're literally just slowing things down to just notice what happens when we close eyes. And whatever you're noticing, ask yourself, like, where was the capacity to notice that 7 minutes ago when eyes were open, we were doing something else? And so the point being, whatever we focus our attention on is what shapes and creates our reality in any given moment. And to keep the experiment going here, see if you can think of a time recently where something didn't go the way that you wanted it to. So you set out with the best of intentions to cook that meal, have that difficult conversation, get to a meeting on time, and it just, something else happened. And see if you can sort of go back in memory into that situation. And noticing how in that moment, you notice that things were going differently than you hoped they would. Like, where was your attention? How much of your attention was fixated on that thing, that situation, that problem? And then in your memory, see if you can become aware of all of the other things that were also part of your reality in that moment, but because of this tendency for the mind to become myopic and fixate on the mind's issue, what were you missing in that moment? What was the weather like? What else was going around you in that moment that actually was working for you? And even in this, the specific thing that you were hoping was going to go one way went the other, what other aspects of that were actually still working out? Like, did you get more information? Did you learn something? And so this is not about telling yourself that what you wanted to have happen, oh, that doesn't really matter. And no, it still matters, but it's really just a question of opening up the aperture to what else was going on, to not get so single-mindedly fixated on the problem, to notice that there were all kinds of other things that were also happening that were actually pretty good, pretty useful. And then see if you can notice the, what I would call like the feeling tone of what it's like to notice this bigger context, having a bigger aperture to any given experience. Like, what's it like to be in that state where you're not single-mindedly fixated on one thing, but rather you have a bigger, broader, more expansive perspective. I don't know what to call that, but there's a feeling tone to it. There's an attitude or just a mindset. And imagine carrying that mindset, that intention to sort of see the bigger picture and hold that bigger picture and experience it as you go through the rest of your day to day. We're priming the nervous system right now to imagine ourselves going through the rest of our day with a less myopic and maybe a more open-minded, more open-hearted view of events that we don't yet know what they're going to be. But again, it's an attitude. It's a way of being. And take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. Relaxing the shoulders, the hands, the belly. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In and out. Relaxing the throat, the chest, shoulders. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keeping your eyes closed, just let the body breathe. Noticing sounds, noticing sensations. Open your eyes, come on back. Yeah, that's all I got. I hope that's a good reminder. Reality is pretty big, and our mind can oftentimes be pretty focused and small. And so just catching ourselves in that situation can be really helpful. So hope that was the case. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.